TorbayHour radio show.
Certainly is. Good evening. It's the TorbayHour radio show. We talk and we tweet business. We do it every Monday night between, now and 9 o'clock. Unless, of course, you're listening on the Listen Again service, in which case it could be 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
2 o'clock in the morning.
Could well be. More on exciting developments on that a little bit later on. But has it been a busy week?
It's always a busy week. It's been a busy one today because everyone's been locked indoors trying to keep hold of their hair.
I lost that battle at 3 o'clock this morning, I can assure you. Yes, thoroughly lashed right across the southwest by Irene. Irene?
I can't remember now.
Oh, dear.
Something. Yes. Not Irene, not Isabel. Is it Isabel? Imogen.
Yeah, that's it. You can tell what it's done to me. You really can, can't you? Anyway, there you go. So, start of another week. Here we go. It is firmly in February, of course. Well, it's a big one, actually. Happy Chinese New Year to you today. If you're celebrating that, we go into the year of the monkey. Apparently, if you are a monkey, it's going to be a fairly tricky year for you.
Kung Pao Fat Choi.
Very impressive.
There you go.
Yeah, so Happy New Year, Chinese New Year. Of course, the end of tomorrow it's Pancake Day.
Hey!
So, yes, it's time to dig out the... Are you a pancake person that makes it from raw, from the eggs and the flour and the salt and all that?
No, I'm the pancake person that buys the packet and chucks that in and wets it up.
Just add milk,
Just add milk.
Right, okay, well, Pancake Day tomorrow, and, of course, then Valentine's Day on Sunday. Oh, my goodness, you've just turned completely pale.
I haven't, because me and the wife don't do anything.
We don't need to know that. That kind of detail is really just not right.
Just not right.
Yeah, so a fairly big week as well. And if you are involved in business and you want to promote something, maybe you're doing some Valentine's specials, maybe you're doing a pancake race or something like that, get in touch. You can do that. The easiest way of doing that is by Twitter.
#TorbayHour.
And we could be promoting whatever you're up to. Already got a few in the bag to do tonight, actually. Plus, as ever, our account of the week. And this week, now, I think there's a bit of a clue in the name. It's Sophie Q's Cleaning. Sophie, I'm guessing that you're in the cleaning game.
Yes, I am. Yes.
So is this domestic or commercial or both?
Both.
Now, cleaning is one of those things which initially it seems so easy. You pop in, you run a dust around, and then you disappear again. But there's much more to it than that, isn't there?
There is, absolutely, yes.
So if you're a business or a house and you're thinking, right, we need a cleaner, what are the things you need to take into account?
Well, when you're looking for a cleaner?
Yeah.
Well, first of all, you want to find out if they have insurance. Insurance is a massive thing. There are some people out there that start it up and cash in hand thing, but you need to make sure they're fully insured. It covers your backside and theirs.
Right.
Second thing, if you've got a family at home, you may want them DBS checked to make sure they haven't got a criminal record.
I'm assuming, that stands well for business as well.
Absolutely, yeah. And we at Sophie Q, we are all DBS checked and we're fully insured.
Right, important. Now, the other thing, I remember... I can't remember what it was relating to, really, but I had to do something to do with cleaning and health and safety. There's all kinds of things for the different products you clean with.
Yeah, so, for us, we use environmentally friendly cleaning products. So we don't have to do so much on the COSH side of things because ours don't actually contain a lot of toxic, harmful chemicals in them.
Right. So... If you're a business, I don't know, you run a small office, maybe a shop or something like that. You've been in, you've had a look around. How do you judge how many times a week or a month or whatever you need to clean?
I think it depends really. Firstly, we find out what the customer wants and what they're looking for. And then you'd actually go in and when you look around, if you've got somewhere which is really busy and, there's lots of people in and out, that could be at home or in an office or wherever it is. If it's going to be a place that does genuinely get quite dirty and mucky, then obviously it needs cleaning more than once a week. But if you've got somewhere where, it's just used now and again perhaps, or people aren't there most of the time, then of course, you can not do it as often.
So, a shop is going to need cleaning more often than an office. Sort of fairly logical.
Yeah.
All right. So, I suppose, how do you go around pricing something? Is it done on the sort of square footage plus the amount of times it has to be cleaned, that kind of stuff?
For us, what we do, we don't give any quotes over the phone. We actually go and visit our clients. That way, we can find out what they want, how much needs doing, and then we base it on price per man hour. And it's really based on individual circumstances. Someone could ring me up and say they've got a 3-bedroom house, 2 bathrooms, and it's such and such size. Okay, that's fine, but I need to know how much furniture's in there, what needs doing in the different rooms, the cleanliness of the place and things like that. So there's lots of different things to take into consideration.
Right, I must admit, I'd kind of thinking about domestic cleaning. It's a whole different kettle of fish. Where do you sort of draw the line? Do you do things like, do you do the washing for people as well?
If somebody asked us to put washing on at their property, then it is possible, yes. I mean, obviously, we're not going to go in and, people take the Michael out of us and have to pick up dirty underwear and, dog muck or things like that around the property. There are limitations as to what we can and cannot do.
You're not the maid?
No.
That's an entirely different kind of service. But anyway, so for all things cleaning, domestic or commercial, you are the people that can help.
Absolutely.
Now, how do we get in touch?
Okay, so you can call us on our number, which is 01803 469 242.
Mm-hmm.
We also have an email address, which is sophieqtorbay@gmail.com, all lowercase. Or you can visit our website, which is www.sophieq.com.
Sophie, thank you very much. I would expect your offices to be absolutely immaculate.
Of course.
And, of course, if you ever feel like doing a freebie, the studio is always in need.
Okay, lovely. Thank you.
Thanks, Sophie.
Thanks. Bye.
This is the TorbayHour radio show.
Certainly is. We talk and we tweet business for an hour between 8 and 9 o'clock. Thanks to the Babacamin for their continued support.
You got something right. It could do with the cleaning here, mate.
Yeah, it certainly... Yeah. Yes, we'll move very swiftly on. The time is rapidly approaching 8:10. Of course, one of the other things which we do on the show is we feature music from local acts, unsigned acts. They might have recorded here at the Music Mill in Eden Alex. They might be from somewhere else in Devon, but we champion their cause, give their songs a bit of a play. Some people send us their new material for a kind of jukebox jury kind of thing, where everyone can then say, yeah, we like that. Tonight we have some brand new offerings from some familiar faces, and in fact some new ones as well. We're going to start with some Andy Quick's Flying Orchestra, who we fell in love with as a band middle of last year, wasn't it? The song The One. Every time we play, everyone just goes, oh, this is just so great. Another offering from them. This one is called Danny's Disguise.
Danny's Disguise, looking good tonight. Always in the sky. cause he said so. Definitely treating you correctly. He looked good, they toned up tight like he said he would. And his disguise is endlessly endearing, a true example of great British engineering. 9 parts criminal, 1 part vulnerable. When it's possible, you're susceptible, and tonight you're gonna say yes. Time and time and time again, he's gonna wanna be more than a friend till he gets that sweet. His little end is in the way away, and then it's over, show's over. Your lover's blown his cover. And he got that nice disguise, and he got that mask on tight, and he got them hungry eyes all set to laser sight. And furthermore, he got that mandatory sharp story pushed out now with all his glory. Safe to say he's a player.
Danny's Disguise on the TorbayHour radio show from the Andy Quick Flying Orchestra. Tell us what you think. Hashtag TorbayHour. If you're loving the music, tell us. If you're thinking, no, move on, play something else, then you can tell us that as well. What's coming on the stream?
A lot of new people, actually. So very, very welcome along to at Promote Torbay. I believe they're to do with the T-bid, the tourism bid.
Oh, okay.
At Torbay Biznet, give them a follow. There's a really, really nice guy running that one. They might not be tweeting much in the next hour, but, say hi.
Oh, okay.
At FT2...
I wondered why they followed me at the weekend, actually.
Go down. It's a great networking event.
Oh, okay.
At FT2G_pitch, they're new as well. At Universal Moto 12. At LifeWorks UK and at Club Wi-Fi. All new accounts already joining us on TorbayHour tonight. Welcome along. Get following, get tweeting, and get promoting yourselves, basically.
Yeah, of course, the big networking event's happening in a couple of weeks' time. 2nd birthday for TorbayHour.
Yeah, happy birthday to us.
Lots of candles. Well, 2, anyway.
2 candles.
Chocolate cake?
Not even 4 candles. There is. Sophie's doing brownies. So
you can't go wrong.
You can't go wrong with brownies.
That's right.
Also, Kevin Foster has tweeted saying you can follow the debate on the future of the Great Western Railway live, and he's tweeted the link to that as well.
That is significant. I mean, it's kind of brought to the highlight. It's, 2 years since the Dawlish incidents and what was going on down there, and the storms lashing us all over again, which kind of brings to the highlight, isn't it? The trains get cancelled, delays, all that kind of stuff. There needs to be a second rail link into the southwest. It's not a case of, well, it would be a nice luxury. There needs to be one.
There needs to be something, definitely. Yeah, I mean, Dawlish, the train line between Dawlish and Newton Abbot is one of the most beautiful train lines in the entire world. But
thanks to Mr. Brunel,
indeed. But yeah, something needs to be done.
I mean, obviously, the route that's the whole debate, isn't it? And presumably, it's far too expensive to consider tunnelling under Telegraph Hill or something. But
yeah, I think it's been bandied about. But a lot came out of that train line going on. We came out of it for a start. TorbayHour wouldn't be here without that train line going down and the open for business hashtag that came out of it. And it brought a lot of attention to the southwest as well. So, every cloud.
Yeah, I think generally speaking, there's probably more people that would have preferred a second train line than TorbayHour. I'm just saying.
That's yeah.
Maybe actually one of the things, and I was talking to someone the other day actually, and said, of course, you can fly from Exeter to London City now, and they didn't know, and I thought that was fairly well publicised. But apparently they're going to be launching a new route from Exeter City to Norwich. That will be an oversubscribed flight. Norwich International Airport.
How have I coped without it?
Yes. Anyway, sorry, I've interrupted your flow.
Oh, and at Nick_TDA, if you want to know the secret to business growth, ask an expert. And obviously the TDA are the experts in everything in the Southwest.
Right. Now, here's a chance for you to support Rowcroft Hospice and also have a laugh at the expense of someone who works here at the Music Mill, actually. Maddie, who works on reception, also is in the karaoke and disco business, based in Newton and Torquay. And they're putting together a team to compete for Rock Solid, which is a 50. Now get this is going to be funny. 15k muddy obstacle course race. They're doing it in aid of the Rowcroft Hospice in Torquay, obviously. Now, Rowcroft are already providing respite and palliative care. We had them in on the show a couple of weeks ago. It costs a fortune to keep the hospice going. This is a great chance to donate some money and also have a laugh at Maddie's expense. So, if you fancy getting in touch with them, you can do it. It's dead simple. Maddie Bywater is one of Rad Entertainment's directors, has shared a link to Just Giving, tagged it into the Torbay Hour as well, so have a look at that. And you can donate money on there. They're doing this on the 20th of March. So they're going to get very muddy. See, I wonder if we could book some the next storm. We're probably going to be down to about the T's or the U's.
I was going to say, it's coming along quick.
Storm Tom, whatever it is around then, if we could just hold off until the 20th of March, that would be hilarious.
I'd love to join them, but it's just I haven't got enough time to...
it's a busy old time of year.
It's a busy time,
you know. It really is, yeah. Anyway, yes, what else you got?
PrintFX_UK, they're looking to beat your website hosting costs as well. So if you're looking at your website hosting costs, then at PrintFX_UK.
See, now that's part of the cost of doing business these days, having a website, isn't it? And you see so many of these adverts, you know, sort of $4.99 for a year, $5.99 the rest of your life, and you're thinking, how on earth? Where is the margin in doing that?
Yeah,
and I guess it's down to volume. If you're hosting 15,000 clients, making a couple of quid from each, then you're doing all right. But
I wouldn't. It wouldn't hurt, you know.
Well, you know, better than smack in the face and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, anyway, if they're wanting to beat your hosting costs, they're the people to talk to. Now, talking of Twitter, some interesting news has come to light in the last couple of days about Twitter. We're going to talk about that in the not too distant, but it's time for another tune. Now, this one again from a new contributor to the Torbay Hour. So see what you think of this. I really like this song from Alex Dobson. This is called Mountain.
I'm standing on top of the mountain. The world, it seems so small. I'm standing on top of the mountain. The rivers begin to feel cold, but you stand your ground. 'Cause you know the rivers won't swell until it hammers down. Down, 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 down. Winter's come and it's cold now. I'm staying inside in the warm. Storms form and the snows will fall. To form on my windows and doors. Those cold and frosty mornings come with the absence of the sun as it stays low in the sky. Short and nights feel long as the birds, they don't sing their songs as the rain passes us by. But you stand your ground, 'cause you know the rivers won't swell until it hammers down. Down, 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 down.
Alex Dobson, and that's Mountain on the Torbay Hour radio show. Thanks to the Babacamin, their continued support. The Easter party nights can't be far away now. Exactly. Get it exactly what you're looking for this Easter. Exactly what you're looking. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's even too bad for me.
Yes. Good evening to Lifeworks, saying thank you for the shout out earlier on. So welcome along to them. If you are, I was going to say if you're listening. Well, if you are listening to the show for the first time tonight and you found us, welcome along. Good to have you there.
Always good to have you.
I was going to say, if you're not sure how to listen to us, but that would be fairly tricky.
If you're not sure how to listen to us, but you're listening to us.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just move on.
Yeah.
Now, talking at, Twitter mentioned this. There's been radical changes. Now, it was announced, I think, was it just before Christmas, that they kind of sneaked under the radar as Happy Christmas, by the way, we might be getting rid of the 140 character limit. And there was mild uproar at that.
Yeah.
What is it, 1,000 characters or something?
There's so many different figures coming out about exactly how many figures they're going to let it go to. But anything over 140 characters basically is going to make things a bit odd. Really?
Well, it's going to get rid of the Twitterness of Twitter.
Yes, Twitter won't be Twitter without 140 characters.
No, and you have to learn to be pithy and precise and clever use of words and stuff.
Exactly.
But anyway, so aside from that controversy, there's been a new one within the last few days. If you suddenly started seeing the hashtag of hashtag RIP Twitter, it's all around that. Give us the news.
So basically, Twitter are talking about setting an algorithm. So rather than it coming in order of time, so your tweets might appear in any order, really. It's a bit like what Facebook have done, basically. So you go onto Facebook nowadays, and it doesn't necessarily come along in chronological order.
Right.
Whereas Twitter, now everyone knows what's going on. You know that you're looking for the hashtag, and you know that things that happened at 8 o'clock will happen at 8 o'clock and basically disappear quite quickly.
So, I mean, this really is almost a bit of an extension of the Moments thing, isn't it? Because Moments suddenly appeared at the bottom of our screens not long ago, which is really what's trending, but sort of done in a bionic way.
Yeah.
But what you're talking about here is I'm in two minds about this, because I like waking up and going, well, what's happened overnight? Mm-hmm. So you can scroll back and see what's happened in your timeline, and the clue is in the name there, timeline. So if they're suddenly going to say, well, the last thing you looked at was about sports cars, so I'm going to give you more sports cars, when actually I want to know about the news, I'm not going to be happy. No,
exactly. And, see, from my point of view, I looked at it and said, right, okay, what's this going to do for Torbay Hour?
Right.
And other hashtag hours around the country.
See, it's that kind of non-self-centeredness about you that's so endearing, isn't it, really?
Yes, it's not all about me, but just most of it. I looked at it and I thought, right, okay, this could go one of two ways. Because Torbay Hour, what happens with Torbay Hour is basically a magnification of what happens with everyone. So this could go one of two ways. This could really, really work for Torbay Hour and other hashtag hours across the country. This could mean that if you're tweeting about the hashtag, then you're going to see more of that hashtag.
Right.
So it might mean that people you don't follow are appearing in there. It might mean that just the people you follow that are tweeting about the same thing are going to appear in your feed a lot more.
So, but that kind of gets rid of the point of following people, doesn't it? Because if you're going to be presented with stuff from people you might not even want to follow, you might pathologically hate them. They might have run off with your other half at school and you never want to hear from them again.
I don't know whether that's true. I don't know whether that is going to happen.
Right.
That's just me sort of spitballing and saying, this could happen. It might just be that, as I say, more people in your timeline that are tweeting about Torbay Hour appear in your timeline, and the people that aren't necessarily talking about Torbay Hour kind of disappear off, which makes the hour a lot more intensive. It might be that, Torbay Hours, we occasionally trend on Twitter at about 50. So there's 49 other things that people are tweeting about which might appear in your timeline more often, because obviously more people are tweeting about those. So it could go one of two ways for it, and it'll be interesting to see what happens.
If you've got thoughts on that, then tag us rather than the RIP Twitter thing, because we're following TorbayHour. It's quite simple, really, on that. And of course, the implications. What's it going to do for business as well, and small business, and the way that people use Twitter for their business? Because you could start talking about something, because all the time we're hearing from the social media experts that come in telling us to engage with our customers in a kind of non-buy this from me kind of way, whereas it's just a general conversation and things like that. Well, if it's that random, you're not necessarily going to appear in the same way.
It might work better, because obviously at the moment we all know you tweet and within about a minute to 5 minutes your tweet's gone.
Yeah.
Just know that it's disappeared off everyone's timeline because it's dropped down in the feed. It might be that this works better because obviously you might tweet something and then it might appear in someone's timeline because the algorithm thinks that's what they want to know about in like an hour's time. So it might work, it might not.
It's going to be interesting. I mean, obviously Twitter have got an awful lot more experience than you and me have at sort of looking at how that kind of thing works. But as you say, it could go one of two ways, but it's like that kind of loyalty card thing. I go into my local supermarket and buy feminine hygiene products, for example. All of a sudden, I'm getting vouchers through the door saying, "Oh, you want to buy more of those, do you?" And it's like, well, no, that was a one-off. I was doing a favour for someone, but now I've completely messed it up. Yeah. So again, if you're looking at Twitter and you're bored one night and you suddenly think, "Oh, I think I'll look at golfing holidays in the Algarve," you've got no real intention. You just followed a thread of conversation. All of a sudden, your feed is going to be skewed by that change in what you're looking at.
Who knows? I mean, Twitter say they're listening to everyone. Twitter obviously don't want to mess it up because this is their business. This is how they make their money. But a lot of people are worried about it. I tend to think, a lot of people made a bit of a fuss when Facebook did it. But it's fine.
Okay, well, there's tie-ups between those two, so they're probably borrowing the technology.
Well, that's the thing. People are just concerned that Twitter's going to try and become more and more like Facebook.
There's been a lot of changes. Now, you get kind of highlights of Periscope appearing in the timeline, don't you? And without having to do anything, it pops up and he's periscoping.
Yeah.
Stuff like that, which is kind of being pushed at us sort of without asking for it.
Well, that because Periscope is Twitter.
Yeah.
Facebook have got their own sort of Periscope going on now as well, and that sort of pops up in your timeline and pops up on people's notifications saying, like, Nick is live, which has popped up on mine a couple of times.
Who is this mysterious Nick?
Nick Ellison. He's been in here.
Right, sorry. I thought it was going to be something we're going to have to tell the other half about.
No, shush. There's like battles going on at the moment. It's quite interesting to see what will happen. But if Twitter are obviously making these changes because they need to make more money, so if they get a bit more like Facebook, then they obviously have the same benefits that Facebook have in their sponsorship and in their sort of paying to advertise your tweets. So that might have a bit of a play in it as well.
Right, get involved in the conversation if you've got something to add. Would you like to see your timeline change to be non-chronological? Would you like to have 15 million characters to send your tweets in? Let us know. Hashtag TorbayHour tonight. Of course, if you want to get in touch, you can email the studio directly as well. studio@themusicmill.co.uk. 8:30, another new tune. This one is sensational. From Zara, spelt with a Z or a Z if you're listening in the States. This is called Alive.
Came down like a bolt from the sky, just a moment in time. If I was wrong, I was wrong. That means you were right. Came down like a whirlwind up in my life. Found you a better place in a better time. Tell me now what it's like on the other side. Is it pretty there? said, keep your head up, kid. Your life's not started yet, you said. In life you can't always smile. Sometimes you gotta walk along my road just to get where you wanna be. You gotta breathe deep and then start again. Then you feel alive. 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 Oh, do you feel alive? You left me like a hole in the head. Try to stay positive, but I'm sad contemplating all the things we never did. All the times you called me, wanted to say hello, but I pretended that I couldn't talk. Said I had to go. Come alive. Come alive. Come alive. One more time. Come alive. Come alive. Come alive. One more time. So you feel alive. Do you feel alive? Do you feel alive? Do you feel alive? So you feel alive. Do you feel alive? Do you feel alive? Do you feel alive?
Zara and Alive on the TorbayHour radio show. I really like that.
That's beautiful.
It's the kind of tune which you'd hear in Blade Runner or something like that. It's got that. I think if you listen to this show and the tunes that I really, really love, it's all that kind of ambient, big production numbers, lots of echoey, reverby kind of. Oh, I love it.
Gotta love it. I'm trying to think of the band, and I can't put my finger on the band, but I'll think of it. They did Teardrops, Mass Effect, Massive Attack, that type of thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd prefer to be listening to people like Digital Dread that we played, probably the Massive Attack.
Yeah.
And, that it just goes to prove there is so much talent, musical talent in Devon, in South Devon, that is sort of not getting the kind of prominence it deserves. Really
No, there's
is.
so much. There's a lot of music. There's a lot of great music down here.
Really, really good. 25 to 9. If you want to get in touch, hashtag TorbayHour. We've had some response to our discussion about the changing face of Twitter.
Yeah, so basically Nick Heyman has tweeted, and he has said that basically this will clear it up. So what they're saying is, obviously you've got your moments thing at the moment. There's also, if you log off your Twitter account for a while, if ever you do this, and you come back.
Sorry, what was that? Log off?
Yeah, if you go away from your Twitter account for a while, even if it's overnight sometimes, maybe a bit longer, and you
so
come
what
back.
Is this concept of sleep people keep telling me about?
Yeah,
not familiar with that, but carry on.
Yeah, I'm getting there. So if you come back to your Twitter account, it does sort of say, while you're away, this happened.
Oh, okay.
Oh, while you're away, so and so tweeted about this. And it will show you the tweets that have come up that you missed, and they're basically saying that that's what it's going to become. So it's going to become basically like that while you're away algorithm will become the main algorithm by the sounds of it.
Right. Do we know, is there going to be any choice in this? Will you be able to choose between whether you have a chronological
No, I doubt it. I really, it's not in Twitter's best interest to do that, I would imagine, because obviously you've then got the two algorithms running side by side, the cost of that to happen, and I'd imagine there's probably sort of paperwork and things like that
Do you know? I mean, this is completely aside, and it just proves again the puerile nature of my mind. But I really would like it if you could change some of the messages so that they actually meant the same thing, but you could put your own free-form text in there. So while you're away, you could just change it so that while you were stupid enough to go to sleep, or were you eating again, fatty, or something like that. That you could probably every time you looked at your phone, you could have a laugh to yourself. Yeah. I'd like that. Probably no one else would, so they won't bother.
We're gonna set up our own social media page, our own social media site.
Insults that come out of it.
Yeah.
Yes. I think that would make a killing. Right, that's it.
What are you talking about? Fatty. Yeah. I nearly said something I shouldn't then.
Yeah.
We're gonna do it. The Insultatron.
Yeah, it would be great. There's so many things as well you could do. I mean, you could change, like the messages that come out of the cash point. If you could, so it knew when you put your card in, you were up for insults. Great.
What are you buying now, fatty?
Yes.
Yeah.
Put it away. You don't need it.
Not another pair of shoes.
Yeah. Move swiftly on. Yes. Right. What else then?
Right. Okay. So we've had at Donna the Typist sort of tweet in. This is something I've not seen before. She can draw online plans for estate agents. All you do is you send her your sketches and she puts it all together and tidies it up and puts it so that you get those online
floor plans. Which I have to say, because when I'm bored, I do tend to peruse the online estate agents. Just dreaming. You have to, don't you? You do.
Mrs. M does that.
Yeah, no, I do as well. And you look at the drawings and you look at the dimensions that are on the drawings, and they're so far wrong from what the actual picture of the room looks like. It'll be on the picture as a square, and its dimensions like 15 foot by 3. And you go, what? How can that be a square? So someone who does that properly is a boon.
Well, yes, exactly. So yeah, you got someone like that. Also, someone else new at We Make Nappy Cakes.
Talk me through this concept.
Right, so, nappy. You heard nappy cakes and you thought, what?
Cakes.
Cake. You just heard the cake bit. So we got given one of these when my son was born, I think it was. So basically what it is, it's in the shape of a cake, but it's all like nappies and baby clothes and vests and things that you might need for a new baby. And it's all stacked up in looking like a nice tiered cake. And you give it to like people having a baby for baby showers or for...
So mummy gets really excited and you go, oh, thanks so much for these nappies and the really useful thing. And dad goes, thanks so much. It's not a cake.
To be fair, no, usually it's the mummy looking at them going, I'm already fat enough, why do I want more cake? Or on the flip side of that, yes, give me more cake, I'm eating for 2. And it's the dad going, yay, cake. And at least that's my life anyway.
But anyway, no, I've seen them. They do look absolutely fantastic.
They are
really,
good.
Really
they
good.
really
very,
are
very
good.
Clever as well. It's amazing. Whatever thing, you just get a mug or something and someone can then turn it into something creative.
Yeah. And personalise it and, create... So, you and I would have completely different mugs if we personalised them.
Yeah.
And someone... Or even if the same person personalised them to 2 different people, then they're just completely different mugs. So I always think that's great.
Absolutely. No, I do. Absolutely. What else?
At Dartington Hall, they're saying treat your loved one to their Valentine's getaway.
Yes, the whole Valentine's game.
The old Valentine's game again. We're back onto that one. Pink hearts and lovely fluffy things and being nice to each other for once.
Oh, come on, get a grip. No. Loving is all year round.
Right. This is exactly what I mean. Valentine's Day, yeah, great for business, great for card shops, great for restaurants and things like that. But, it's not romantic. I don't like things like that. It feels like it's designed for the card shops. It feels like some card shop has gone, 20, 30 years ago, what can we do to sell more cards in February? And it's and everyone's going, yay, lovey-dovey stuff. But actually, you know what? I slag my wife off a lot on here, and she comes out of it quite bad. She should listen more and put me straight. But actually, you know what? We've been together for 17 years. We don't do romance, but we know each other very well.
You've almost dug yourself out of that hole, haven't you?
And then put myself right. And then
right back in it again.
Hang on a minute, I don't like it. It's too bright. Just step backwards.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Fair enough. Anyway, yeah. So Valentine's coming. If you are running Valentine's promotions, maybe in a restaurant, maybe. And I have to say, I will say this, that when you get to Valentine's Day, when you suddenly try and book a restaurant and you find that the menu's sneakily gone up in price, I'm not quite a fan of that.
No, and it's 3. You get 3 choices rather than 5.
Yeah,
and and it's all mass cooked. Oh, actually, I'm probably doing a lot of restaurants disservice. If I am, then do tell me and I'll mention you.
Hashtag TorbayHour. Tell us that everything is as normal and your prices go down because you're so in love with your customers. It's the way forward.
It's the way forward.
Yes. Time for another tune, and then we're going to talk about this show. It's just coming up. 18 minutes away from 9 o'clock. When we played this song about 3 or 4 weeks ago on the show, I have never seen a Twitter reaction like it. It was absolutely sensational. The band called Raining Days. This is the new song from them. They sent it through to us as an exclusive play. It's called Renegade.
Left my heart just like a renegade. I'm not one for coming back again. I just wanna make my way back home.
Raining Days, Renegade. You need more hair than I've got to be able to dance to that properly.
I tell you what, you were saying a minute ago that other type was your music. I love the music like this. Love it.
It's great. I mean, I love that as well. It's got so much energy and passion. Really good. Last time we played that song, Twitter nearly broke. It was incredible.
You nearly broke Twitter.
It was good. Now, we're never afraid of controversy on this show. You've sparked it off tonight.
Oh, I have. I'm getting abused
we can
now.
talk about the economy. We can talk about terrorism and disaster. The world just ticks by. You mentioned Valentine's.
I mention Valentine's and say that although I love my wife, I don't have to have a day to celebrate it, and I get abuse. So at AC Print is asking, would I like to borrow her spade? I know she's packing up to move house at the moment, so you probably can't even find your spade. But no, I'm near the bottom of this hole, and I will carry on digging. At Disco Junction, romance is amazing. Valentine's is another excuse to tell someone special how amazing they are. No, just tell them every day.
Yeah, you see, I like that. Yeah,
you know what I mean. You don't need a day to be told, Valentine's Day is the lazy bloke's time to say I love you to the wife. If you say it every day, you don't need Valentine's Day.
Yeah, Disco Junction, you've been told.
Yeah,
yes.
You might take your wife away on holiday, but I tell my wife that I love her. So,
on a radio show when she's not listening to it. Yeah. It's say it with radio.
She can listen again.
When has she ever listened again?
She's going to have to, because she can just play this bit on repeat.
Oh, dear. Anyway, yes.
So Dan2K UK is asking if he can take over the show if I keep digging far enough. Him and Nicky Voice want to take over the show.
Well, funny you should say that.
Yes.
The time now is, it's 12 minutes away from 9 o'clock. Now, a few weeks ago on the show, we did ask you your thoughts on the show, what we do, how we do it, when we do it, all that kind of stuff. And thank you for all your feedback. And we've been doing a lot of thinking. And we think it is time for a change. Now, that's not necessarily a change in personnel, but it's a change in how we do things. Because overwhelmingly, what people have said to us is that they are so busy tweeting during the show that they're not necessarily paying attention. So when we've had some fantastic guests in, they've missed some of the things, the tips and advice and stuff like that, and they really want to listen to it again, but the YouTube channel is not doing it for them because they want to listen in the car and they don't have the bandwidth and all that kind of stuff. So
indeed,
we have a cunning plan.
Yeah, well, obviously, as we mentioned a couple of weeks ago, I'm also stepping away from TorbayHour and from what we do on here. So the show itself would be kind of difficult to do as it stands at the moment. James and Sophie are both really busy people, and trying to organise this would be a nightmare for them. So what we're basically going to do is take a little time off, a month or two, and then we will be back, but slightly different.
What we're looking at doing is doing a podcast, essentially, aimed specifically at the small business market. So all of the tips and advice, the social media advice, marketing advice, legal, all the professional services, all of the people that we've had on the shows, all the regular contributors will continue to be on the show, and we welcome that, but we will be doing it as a podcast that you could listen to it during the Torbay Hour.
You could if you wanted to.
Or you could be listening to it on holiday if you're Disco Junction and take regular extended holidays. How does he afford that, by the way?
Well, don't know.
Yeah. Or you could just listen to it whenever you like. But that is the intention, to do that. So, unless anyone has any objections. Any objections? No, motion carried.
It's good being in a room with only two people, isn't it?
That's right, yes. So that's our plans. If you've got any immediate thoughts on that, you think it's a good idea, let us know. If you suddenly started crying, we apologise. I'm sure there will be a support group trending soon on Twitter for that.
Hashtag ROP TorbayHour radio. Because obviously TorbayHour will continue on Twitter. It will continue on social media. It will continue on the website. TorbayHour.
All the networking events, all that all carries on unaffected.
So next week will be the last TorbayHour radio show, because the week after that I want to be able to go to our second birthday networking event on the 22nd at White Rock. Nice plug, get that in there. So next week we'll wrap up this show. We'll probably have a look back at what we've done, and we'll have a few laughs, I'm sure. I might cry, doubt it. And then we'll be back in a few months' time, I guess, or a couple of months.
That's a good point. If you listen to the show from the start or at any point and you'd like to come in next week, we should probably do that. A bit of an open house.
Open house at the Music Mill.
Possibly, yes.
There you go.
Need to think about that before I say it. Maybe next
bring
time.
Cake.
Yes.
Yeah, everyone bring cake. That's the cost of getting in, because we've not had cake in here for months.
Middle of last year, I think.
Yeah, I think so. So we're all looking very svelte. We're both looking svelte. The radio. We've got a face for radio.
Oh, dear, dear. Right, so yes, your thoughts on that hashtag TorbayHour, and tell us what you think. And we're really excited about the future because we think we've got something here which nobody else is doing, and we want to make sure that it grows. So it won't be called the TorbayHour podcast.
No,
we need to work on the name.
We're working on that one.
But yes, we will be here being fools on the radio and dropping Martin in it. And actually, of course, there'll be far more evidence which will be stored forever.
And it'll probably be because obviously we won't be focusing on Torbay. We'll be focusing on the country as a whole as well. So I'll probably be doing this to the whole country, possibly.
It's a scary thought, isn't it?
Good luck, Mrs. M.
Yes, hashtag TorbayHour if you've got any thoughts on that. We'd love to hear it. Now, one more song. Now, this one, quite honestly, today, if there wasn't a day, then we could play this song. As soon as I woke up this morning, I was thinking, I know what we can play tonight.
I don't know why.
Still love that. Stormy weather, Lost Sound Chorus, TorbayHour radio show, thanks to the Barbican Inn.
Indeed.
Now, you are, you're getting support now.
I am.
You're not used to this, are you?
No, I don't know what to do about it. I feel a bit odd.
If you've only just tuned in tonight, you've missed Martin making an interesting position.
A bold statement regarding Valentine's Day. Good for business, bad for relationships. That's what I reckon. But, right... So I've got the opposite of abuse. I don't.
Support?
Support.
Yeah.
Okay. PSP Torquay. Totally agree with you. 20 plus years, never celebrated Valentine's Day. Well done.
Okay.
So you could say yeah. He's a guy. Nikki Voice. I completely agree with you on the Valentine's argument.
There you go.
She is trying to. I think she's trying to suck up to me because she wants my job. But support.
Oh, wait, no. A few months ago, you said, I can't believe this. There's loads of tweets supporting me. What you mean is you've got two?
Yeah.
Nikki and PSP.
Yeah, that's loads for me.
200% increase. Isn't it? It really is.
Any support is good support.
Dear. What else you got coming in?
Right, so RM_Adventures, they're a few moments away from planning the inaugural Dartmoor Walking Festival.
Oh.
How good is that going to be? I love Dartmoor. Got to get up on Dartmoor. If you don't get up on Dartmoor and walk at least once a year, you're not living. Because you've got this thing on your doorstep that is just beautiful and is...
It's a wilderness.
A wilderness. You literally, right, I've been on there for 9 hours once. I saw 2 people.
Which is great.
Which is insanely incredible. So it's just the perfect place to clear your heads. And it's right on your doorstep. If you're not using it, use it.
It's kind of like, there's the nearer you live to a tourist attraction, the less likely you are to go there. If you're alone. When I lived in London for a bit, did I go to the Tower of London and all those places? No. Because you go, they're just on the doorstep.
Yeah, exactly. I can go there whenever.
But no, Dartmoor, it's just fantastic.
Get up there. At ENI Marketing, they're promoting their photo copywriting and graphic design service as well. And then, what else have we got? I've been too busy talking and sort of celebrating the fact that I've got support. Devon Printers, can anyone tell that they've been taking some shots of the factory at the moment? They've got big machines in there. PSP Torquay Insurance is very, very important. Whatever your trade, make sure you're properly covered. Can't stress that as enough, really. And Kirsty Bird, she tweeted this pic, right? It's their wood turner, Nick Agar, turning a 5-foot section of tree. It's huge. It looks fantastic. I love it.
What's he turning into?
I don't know. Woodwork.
Man thing.
He has big tool.
Carve wood.
Cockington Park, come on, you've still got a few days to get crafting and or baking. It's all for a good cause, and that's their Green Heart Craft and Bake Off happening at Cockington Court on Sunday the 14th of February, Valentine's Day again.
Yes,
their Green Heart project.
I like that. If you've not been to Cockington Court in a long time, it's great. It's kind of Cockington, a whole park is an oasis of green in the middle of a town. I just love going there. It's great for a walk and all that kind of stuff. So,
yes.
Get on down there, bung on the wellies and go and enjoy the outside. You can, of course, stay in touch because now that 4G is up and around, you can stay in touch.
You can stay in touch wherever you are. Or,
of course, you could digitally detox, which I do on several days and with varying degrees of success.
Yeah, maybe after next Monday.
You never know your luck. So, you've got a week. Think about that. If there's any songs which you'd like to hear for the last show, then get in touch with that during the last week. Hashtag TorbayHour. The show will be available to listen to again on the YouTube channel. Assuming someone downloads it this week, we'll make that available in the next couple of days.
Yeah.
Not looking at anyone.
No.
You've got nothing else to do on Valentine's Day. You can do it on that day, can't you? Dear, oh dear.
Well, dear, oh dear.
Yeah, so thoughts, anything which you'd like to see featured in the new podcast version of the show. So that's quite cool talking about that.
Yeah.
We've got a lot to learn about podcasting in the next few weeks. Maybe we could get an expert on next week. It might help, mightn't it? Really might. Anyway, hashtag TorbayHour for your thoughts, your questions, your music requests, anything at all for next week on the show. All you need to do is go along to YouTube to find it on the Listen Again service, youtube.com, and then just search for TorbayHour.
Indeed.
Time is rapidly approaching 9 o'clock. Thanks to the Babacom Inn for their continued support. This has been the TorbayHour Radio Show.
Talking and tweeting business in Torbay.